If we were asked, what is the point of our Catholic faith, what would we say? It's a very good question, and as Bishop Robert Barron put it one time, the goal really of our Catholic faith is divinization. What does that mean? It means God himself, who has revealed himself in Jesus, is calling us to participate in fullness of life, to participate even in his divinity. That is a high calling we all receive. That is the great love that God has for each one of us. But see, God's love doesn't have to remain in the realm of just an idea, of something out there, of something that's not practical or concrete, something we can touch. We actually can touch that very love of God that makes himself present in the Eucharist, which is why he institutes the sacraments, so that we can participate in that life of grace, in the very life of God. That is what Jesus is teaching us here in this gospel account, which is part of the bread of life discourse. My brothers and sisters, if we're honest with ourselves, we know that in this life we can't find that love which ultimately makes us happy or satisfies us or brings us that peace that surpasses all understanding in this world, except in Jesus himself. He knows that. He knows we need it. And that is why he teaches us that he is the bread of life, the bread from heaven, which is why he makes himself present at each Mass, which is why we also have the Mass, access to the Mass daily, because that is what ultimately we need and what we are called to: communion. Communion with God, communion with one another. And we learn that love of God which he freely gives and ultimately gives of himself in that sacrament, that great sacrament of the Eucharist. It's also that same love that he calls us to have for one another. That is heavenly. That is what heaven is. Because there will no longer be no need of faith or hope, just love. And so, my brothers and sisters, today, let us ask for that grace as we encounter Jesus in the Eucharist, to give him truly thanks for giving us what we need, and asking for his assistance to love one another as he teaches us, because that is the purpose not only of this life, but the life to come.